Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday, and that means it's time for some episodic Dungeons & Dragons with the Session Zero crew. Good evening to all of you. Hopefully you have had a lovely week so far. If it's your first time here, welcome. I'm Josh Treffes. I'm going to be Dungeon Master for this hopefully quite interesting and entertaining episode of Session Zero, a weekly Dungeons & Dragons game/style podcast thing where we have three fantastic players. One of them, unfortunately, is off this week. We won't be seeing Billy Trixx, but we do have our lovely Barbarian Rage and our lovely Bard Callum. So let's just introduce our players really quickly for the benefit of anyone who's not been here before. Rage, would you like to explain who you are and your playstyle in this game?
Yo, sup, my name's Rage. I play a barbarian that's not very socially put together, but she has developed the art of flirting, but it's not as hardcore as what she knows from her barbarian roots. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully there's no skull crushing this time, but you just never know. We don't know what the dice will roll.
It depends how the barbarian flirting goes. Skull crushing is a step within that process. Let's just hope that everyone survives this one, because a lot of people have died in games recently, haven't they?
Yeah, just accidental things, accidental steps. Bad.
Yes.
We'll blame it
Tough
on
love.
bad dice.
Yeah, let's keep Callum away from anyone called Timmy. That seems to be a pretty good process so far. Now, for anyone who is in the chat...
That was going to be the first one without a death. Couldn't let it happen.
Let's try. We'll see what we can do.
Right.
For anyone who's in the chat and has never seen one of these episodes before, this is not a campaign. You didn't need to be here for episode 1. If you missed the next one, it's not a problem. This is episodic, which means every single adventure is standalone. It's the same characters, it's the same general arc, but it's almost like storybooks, if you will, within a greater D&D franchise. Callum, would you like to tell us a little bit about your character and the adventures you've been on so far?
Yeah, so I am a bard. I'm a man of music. I've got my handy-dandy flute, which previously has been used as a weapon, as you can see. I like to think of myself as a bit of a chatterbox, you know. Worm my way out of situations with the magic of words. It doesn't always work, but I try.
You do, and that flute has been used to stab some vampires in the face. It has bonked a guard or two on the head. But now you are moving away from the flute as a weapon and more toward the flute as an instrument of music and magic. And what do you think you're going to be actually using as a weapon? Because we haven't really discovered your fighting style yet, have we?
Yeah, so as it stands right now, weapon-wise, I don't really have any. My words are my weapon. I do aim to find a weapon, maybe something swordy or daggery, you know, something stealthy.
Yeah.
I'm not very armored, so it's got to be something stealthy for me.
Yeah, you're not exactly going to be going toe-to-toe with the city guards or the bandits here. You're more of a swing in from the rafters, stab with a few rapier stabs, and then swing away and hide in the shadows. At least in theory.
Yeah.
In reality, you'd probably...
Doesn't always work out that way, but that's the plan, yeah.
Tumble onto the floor, kick someone in the shins, and run into a wall where you're trying to hide. Because last time you hid in a bush, didn't you, in an attempt to escape from a guard?
That did happen, yeah.
It was less hiding in a bush, though, because the guard was aware of you and was looking at you, and you were kind of maintaining eye contact while you just kind of struggled down into the foliage. It wasn't the stealthiest of things.
It wasn't, but again, I tried.
You did, and we appreciate that. So, Billy Trixx, our fantastic sorceress, is not with us this week. So we have a little duo adventure where Rage and Callum, members of the Adventurers Guild, both of them, have been hired to help a certain man, a man named Archibald Scribblewright. He is getting married, and these two are somehow involved with that. So you've been on the road for a while. You have been talking about all your old adventures, and you're pretty well rested and well fed. You found a decent inn, you found a decent pub, you got some meat inside you, you got some beer, you got some ale, and you've restocked all of your supplies. You've got bread, you've got wine, you've got the decent stuff with you to travel around with. And you receive, while you're in one of these taverns, a notice from one of the Travelling Adventurers Guild scouts that the adventure writer, the author, Archibald Scribblewright, renowned adventurer, a best-selling author, extremely wealthy individual, is looking for a pair of adventurers to provide some light entertainment at his wedding. Now, Rage, you've attended a wedding or two. How are barbarian weddings different to, regular weddings?
Well, I've never been to a regular wedding before. I've tried, but like they just think I'm a bit too dirty, so they've just kind of like thrown me out. So I'd like to go see what a regular wedding is like, but barbarian weddings, they're the best.
What happens in a barbarian wedding?
Well, right. So like the art of marrying someone when you're a barbarian, right, is through the art of wrestling. All right. So you get your bride and you just slam them down onto preferably some mud so it's nice and cushion. Because come on, we're not barbaric. We may be barbarians, but if you manage to pin your opponent down, you get to marry them.
Okay, so it's more like an ownership thing.
Yeah, like if you can't pin them down, then you're not. Why should you be marrying them? You know?
Right. So a barbarian wedding is basically just WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that what
it
is? Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully there won't be any slamming people into mud in this wedding, seeing as Archibald himself is a very well-to-do individual, remarkably moneyed. He likes the finer things in life. Callum, you've been to a wedding or two before, haven't you?
Yeah, I was just about to say, weirdly, that sounds like a wedding that I went to, but it wasn't a barbarian wedding. It just got a bit out of hand. Although I do love weddings. I love mincing around, chatting to people. No idea who they are. Also, most of the women there are single and just really hoping to catch the bouquet, right?
Okay.
So I shoot my shot with all of them.
All of them at the same time. Is that why it doesn't work?
There is some overlap with the shooting of shots. But for the most part, it's very unsuccessful, yeah.
It's known as the volley flirting method. If you fire enough arrows, you're going to hit something. Yeah. That's the...
Exactly. You miss 100% of shots you don't take.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way you do it. And you take a lot of shots, and you somehow manage to miss 100% of the shots that you do take, which is a skill.
Yeah, but I did take those shots.
You've been summoned by the Adventurers Guild, and you're in a small town at the seaside right now. You've got the ocean to one side of you, a huge big forest to the other, and the town itself is relatively small. There's a dirt track out the back of the town which leads to a little chapel, and as you are sat there, a scout simply walks up to you and leans over. You're in the bar, you've got a tankard of ale in your hand, and this scout leans forward and goes, sorry to bother you, Adventurers Guilds, right? You and you?
Yeah, I mean, we're one short, but... We are almost a whole adventure, yes.
That's absolutely fine. We have a job for you, if you don't mind. We've been contacted by Archibald Scribblewright. Have you heard of him before?
Never.
Nope.
Right. Adventurer. Travelled all around the world. Fought many battles. Seen many things. Wrote many books. Remarkably brave, charismatic, courageous, strong, tough individual. Getting married tomorrow, I believe. And he requires some entertainment. He's asked us to provide, and we think you two could do the request he's got. Fancy earning some gold over the next day?
I mean, we are pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Right, Archibald himself would like to speak to you. He is in the chapel just out the back of the village. Follow the dirt path. You'll see it up on the cliff. There's boats down below harboured. Don't worry about them. Just pop into the chapel when you can. Right, toodaloo. The scout turns around and walks away. You can tell he was an official Adventurers Guild scout, as this is how they provide their jobs to members of their guild. Rage, think you can provide entertainment only for half a day for a wedding? Pretty simple.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I am entertaining enough to look at. Like, look at these guns, man.
Is that going to be the entertainment? You just stand at flex?
It's a gun show.
Excellent.
I might do a couple of arm wrestles and stuff. Slam a few people to the floor.
You'd have to ask what Archibald wants. He might be into that. You never know.
True.
Callum, what do you think you could do?
I mean, flute is the #1 trick. However, I mean, I wasn't worried about the ships until he told me not to worry about the ships. I'm now worried about the ships.
The village you're in, the seaside, the cliffs that fall down into the ocean, harboured along the bottom are some boats and some ships. Quite big ships, some merchant vessels, some private individuals, some privateers settle there. It's not an official harbour, it's just a relatively easy to traverse rocky face that people lash ropes to and hang ships off and hang them in the water down below. The chapel that you're walking up to on the top of the hill, a beautiful sea view, beautiful view of the forest to one side, rocks and cliffs falling off down the other. It's just a lovely little quaint stone chapel on the top. Very, very simple, very plain, nothing too extravagant there at all, which is strange for a man as rich as Archibald Scribblewright.
Sounds nice.
If you are ready to leave the tavern, you can simply walk up the dirt path behind the village and make your way toward the chapel and see what's going on.
Do you want it out?
Yeah. Let's go and...
Yeah.
Go on a
Set
trek.
up.
You
Right.
leave the tavern, and a strange sight. The village you're in is very, very small. It's pretty much only exists to facilitate the chapel at the top of the hill. But walking toward the chapel are people very obviously dressed as bandits. But almost theatrical bandits. You can tell the weapons they're carrying aren't real. You can tell the cloaks have simply been cut into that shape and never actually worn overnight. Just 8, 9, 10, 11 people just walking up the hill, dressed as play bandits, if you will. Rage, have you ever seen such a sight?
No. I'm intrigued though. Like they're playing make believe.
Callum?
I kinda wanna
I've never seen a fake bandit. I've seen a few fake musicians. Not myself, of course. But yeah, no, never seen fake bandits. I'm also interested in what they're actually doing.
Well, if you want to, you've been told to head up to the chapel on the top. You can follow them up if you want.
Hey Cal,
Yeah.
do you wanna go give him a poke?
Oh,
See how they react.
I haven't given a flute poke in a while. Yeah, let's do it.
Go on. Let's do it. Let's go.
Rage, what are you
Sneak
going to
up
do
and
to these fake bandits?
Hey, me, man. It's him. It's all him.
Yeah, I wanna hide nearby them, just lean out and give them a little, flute jab.
It's just a
and then
line of
hide
people
again.
in the middle of a dirt path walking up. There aren't very many stealth areas around them. It's the middle of the day. You can just walk up to them and just poke them, or you could just say hello if you want to.
So I walk up behind them, I fall in line, and I poke the second from the back and then hide behind the back guy.
The one that you poke just turns around. I say, did you poke me? Who touched me? Who touched this costume? It's very expensive. Who was it?
Disappear off into the distance.
Roll a d20.
Oh, bollocks. 14.
You actually do manage to just gently sneak around. And this man, clearly some kind of extravagant bandit, just brushes off his cloak, falls back in line, and continues walking up toward the chapel.
I want to go.
Perfect.
Rage, what do you want to do? These are just people in costumes walking up a hill, and you decided to run up and just poke them.
Yeah. So I'm gonna creep up behind the same guy, and just give him a poke.
Roll a d20 for how stealthy you are.
8.
You say creep up behind the guy. The guy's looking around for who's just jabbed him in the back, and all he sees you doing is kind of their really big footsteps, super slowly up to him. He can see you out the corner of his eye. You're not hidden at all. And once you're at the top, what are you going to do? Once you're near him.
Well, okay. So he sees me.
He's aware of you. You're kind of there creeping and crouching. And he's just standing there like, looking at you.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
I am very well. I have been rehearsing my part. Will you be involved in our little play?
Do I look like a nerd? No.
Good day, woman. The man ignores you from now on and simply walks up the hill.
Oops. Alright, well, I'll go back and join Cal.
Cal's just standing there watching this line of people walking up the chapel.
Yeah, I think he saw me, Cal.
Yeah, no, it's quite obvious he did.
Yeah.
You had a conversation.
Yeah, I'm a bit... Yeah. Yeah.
I think he saw me. Yeah, you did talk to him.
Oh, whoops.
Should we follow them?
Yeah.
Haven't seen a play in a while.
You follow them up the hill, and eventually you realise that when you get to the chapel, there's quite a few things around. There's swords in a pile, but wooden. There's a man painting some silver colouring onto the blades. There are people putting on capes and cloaks. And just over in the distance, toward the actual cliff face, you can see a very well-to-do man, quite short, with a lovely purple flowing robe on, kind of wafting his arms around in the air as if he is trying as hard as he can to organise something. He looks like Archibald Scribblewright.
How do we know?
On the back of his cape, embroidered in gold, is the word Archibald Scribblewright. Purple cape.
Oh, do I still have the purple cape from last week? Oh, I could try to do a swapsy with him.
Just written that down. Okay, yes. Standing there, waving his arms, and as he waves his arms, the cape flutters behind him and spells out, in lovely gold embroidery on its purple sheen, Archibald Scribblewright.
I think that's Archibald.
I think it might be.
Might be.
Could be.
Not sure.
Could be an imposter.
True.
Are you having this conversation out loud?
Yeah.
To each other while people walk past you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The man painting the swords leans in and goes, "Nope, that's Archibald."
Well, it must be.
Well, it's not. He just said. He said no.
What?
Oh.
What are you on about?
I'm not the smart one.
Well, I know that.
Right.
Well,
Are you just going to stand there? The man painting the sword looks at you and is now concerned that he might have to work with you.
You alright, mate?
I am.
What are you doing?
I'm painting these swords.
You're painting swords, are you?
Aye.
You're very good at that.
It's one of my skills.
Yeah?
Can I help you?
No. Alright, should we go say hi then?
yeah, go on then.
Alright, bye, have fun.
Bye. The sword painting man stays and continues painting silver paint onto these wooden swords. You approach Archibald. He turns around and looks you up and down. I say, those costumes are super. You'll almost look like real adventurers.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. Real adventurous.
Oh
Lots
my
of
goodness.
effort.
Are you from the Adventurers Guild?
Yes.
My goodness. Well, it's lovely to meet you. I'm Archibald Scribblewright. He steps forward and extends a hand to shake both of your hands.
I shake
At the
his
same
hand.
time?
Well-
We each grab a hand.
No, he just holds one hand out. Both of you roll a d20.
we both grab the hand. 8.
9.
Yes. You both. He extends one hand, and both of you simultaneously just grab it from different sides. And now there's almost like a triangle of people standing there as he just smiles at you.
It's like a
It's a
team building
circle shake.
exercise.
It is. Good. Right. Has the Adventurers Guild told you why you've been sent here?
Something about a wedding?
Oh my goodness, yes. I am marrying my beloved tomorrow, and I require your help in setting up the entertainment. Now, you can see I've done my part already.
Oh, yeah, you've done a great job. You got one guy waxing a sword over there. That's going well.
Painting, Carol, painting.
Oh, painting. Yeah, painting a sword.
Yeah.
Here is the theory. Have you read any of my adventure books?
Yeah, all of them.
Fantastic. It's lovely to meet a fan. Roll a d20 for deception.
13.
It's lovely to meet a fan. So here's my theory. It's going to be a very exciting wedding. Halfway through, we're going to simulate a bandit attack. And I am going to fight them off to impress my love. What I would like you two to do, as people with actual experience fighting off bandits, is choreograph the fake attack so it looks remarkably real.
Wheel?
Real.
Yeah.
What's wheel?
Real is when something is not fake.
I think that's real.
No, I said real.
Wheel. Wheels on a car.
No, wheels go on a car. I want this fake attack to appear real.
We can turn it around, don't worry.
Yes. Don't turn the wheel on the cart around. Turn around the process that I am giving you.
Where are
No,
we getting
that's
the
what I meant.
wheels from?
Where do I get the wheel from? Anything that isn't fake is wheel.
So, like
I
that
know,
cart
I'm
over
lost.
No, that cart has got a wheel and is also wheel. Right, let's go back to the start. I would like you to choreograph a fake bandit attack to happen just before we both say, I do. And then I will fight them off. And then when I've won, I will marry my beloved.
Yeah, I'm sure we can do that.
Excellent. You are in charge of all of the actors I have hired. Don't disturb my wife-to-be. She's remarkably busy.
Doing what?
At the minute, she's just taking care of her ship. Down, he leans over the cliff edge, slightly looks down. She's just taking care of her ship down there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, we can work with that. She's
Yeah,
she's not too close. We
Oh,
can
she's
hide the...
a fantastic woman. You know, we only met 2 weeks ago.
Where?
Oh, it was a fantastic story. I was doing a book signing in a village over the ocean, and that village was attacked by bandits. And halfway through the bandit attack, I explained and I exclaimed, "Don't kill me, I'm a witch!" And then my beloved appeared and protected me.
What?
Right. Is she a barbarian by any chance?
No, if you were the pirate.
Right.
I
Yeah,
have
no.
shown her the error of her ways, and now she is settling down to marry me.
What a change of lifestyle.
Yes,
Nice.
yes, indeed.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Congratulations.
Very happy for you.
Thank you very much. Right, I will give you some time with the actors I have prepared. Make sure it's a realistic-looking bandit attack, but not an actual bandit attack. I don't want to actually get hurt.
We will make that happen.
And if my beloved does come up to you, please be very kind to her. She's had a long voyage across the sea, and she can get a little bit angry at times.
Yeah.
Poke the witch. Poke the witch.
No problem.
Thank you. Right, I'll leave you to it.
Where's the actors?
Archibald walks
Didn't
off
have that.
inside the chapel in order to look at a few more preparations for the wedding. Maybe the tablecloths, maybe the food, maybe some of the decorations around the side. And you can see that about 12 actors dressed as bandits have so far put their costumes on, put on their wooden swords, and have gathered in a small gaggle and walked up to you. They just all seem to be kind of standing there looking at you, waiting for you to explain what's going to go on. You have been told to facilitate a fake but real-looking bandit attack on this wedding, just to give Archibald that sense of adventure he wants in his wedding. Rage, what are you thinking?
I know very well how to make fight look real. Because I had to pretend to fight a lot back in the village because I was a bit shit when it comes to fighting. So as long as I pretend to fight, I'll be alright. But are these the same guys that we poked earlier?
Are you saying that out loud?
Yeah.
You hear a voice from the middle of the gaggle of people. Yes.
Nice.
Oh, perfect. We've already met then. No introductions needed. Have any of you ever actually been in a fight?
One of the actors at the front, just roll a d20, Cal.
14.
Give me a sec. One of the actors steps forward, takes out his wooden sword, and says, "I say, I was once witness to a bar brawl.
Right, but did you actually do anything?
I was very close to the fight. You can't get in more of a fight than that."
Have you
I
ever
walk
swung
over
a
to him
sword?
and I slap him in the face.
Roll a d20.
2. Wait, if it's strength, it'll be 4.
You're standing relatively close to the cliff edge.
Oh no. No.
The man pulls
No.
out the wooden sword, steps forward in an attempt to impress you as an actor. He's never obviously been in an actual fight. You walk forward, hammer on shoulder, and just slap him straight across the cheek. A lovely thunder crack of a slap echoes around. All the other actors gasp. The man is knocked sideways and falls super close to the cliff edge, almost sliding on the gravel off. He stands up, clutches at his face. His wooden sword dropped to the floor. "How dare you?"
There you go.
He runs away.
You've been involved in a real fight.
You are now down to 9 actors.
Oh, whittle out the wussies, right?
He's ran off. The other
Right now.
9 look relatively scared and didn't realise that you, as fight choreographers, were going to actually hit them.
What do they expect?
Sometimes we just need to be a bit more real with people.
Look, if you're not prepared to have a couple bruises, guys, then, like, this ain't the job for you. You know what I mean? So,
We,
you know.
we haven't got time to do makeup on everyone. We need to
Yeah.
actually get them looking roughed up.
Roll
Yep.
a d20.
Me? Oh,
Both
no.
of you.
7.
14.
Thankfully, they begin to leave when Cal says, "If this isn't the job for you, then leave." And a few of them do turn round, but then they realise that, Rage, you're staring at them very intensely, very angrily. and you're just able to intimidate them into staying. These are actors fresh out of acting school. They are not adventurers, they're not bandits, they're not fighters, but you need to make it look like a fake bandit attack. One of them steps forward from the front, a man named Thomas, and simply says, "So, what's the plan? When the wedding happens, when do we come in, and what do we do?"
I mean, we need to do something extravagant, right? So I'm thinking you guys all jump out on, what was his name, Archibald or something? Yeah, you all jump out on Archibald and you try to steal his coin purse or something, whatever belongings he's got, you try and steal them, right? Make it look like a proper bandit attack on an expensive wedding. And then we will choreograph us trying to fend you off.
Okay, so
sound good?
So do you want us to practice the moves now? Do we rehearse, or are you just going to kind of wing it on the day? What's going to happen?
I'm thinking that some rehearsal needs to happen. Because none of you have ever swung a sword, obviously.
No.
Right. So I'm thinking you all dive in at the same time to make it look more epic. And you just go mad with the swords, just swinging them at us. Obviously, try not to actually hit us. Give us a chance to block. And I think we'll do the rest, really, won't we?
Cal, you have to keep in mind that it's 9. There's 9 people here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are really good at fighting, but we're not miracle workers. If 9 swords came at me, I probably would struggle.
To be honest, I'm good at dealing with 3 people at a time. So if you can deal with the other 6, I think we got it covered.
Is this where your bardic skills come in again?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it a few times in a tavern, mostly in the upstairs, but I have done it. Okay, I've fended off a few swords in my time.
So Cal can fight 3 swords off by himself because he has experience with doing it. Rage, you're going to be able to deal with everyone else there. The actors are still looking forward. So, right, do you want to show us some fake moves? How do we hold? Do we attack you, or where do you want us to enter from? Do we drop down from the rafters? Do we just run in the chapel?
Ooh.
We've not even seen when this is going to happen, so...
Yeah, we need to see, like, the stage, as it were.
Do you wish to leave the actors where they are for the time being and head inside the chapel?
No, come on, let's go. Let's take them with us.
Let's do it.
We can place people.
While you've been talking, Archibald's bride-to-be has finished docking the ship, if you will, and has taken some supplies up the path at the far end of the cliff and has walked behind you into the chapel, so she is now in there as well.
Okay.
And as you leave the actors where they are and you head inside this small chapel, you can see Archibald kind of flamboyantly jumping around the room, pointing to things, tapestries that he's had hung up, food he's had prepared, flowers he's had placed on the table, and then a rather tall woman with dark curly black hair standing there with her arms folded, looking a little bit annoyed at everything that he's doing as he bounces around extravagantly.
What's the room look like? Have we got any balconies? Like, can we make this look like the Red Wedding?
It's a relatively small chapel, to be fair. It's very simple. It's simply the walls, a pointed roof, and some wooden beams holding the roof up. There's no balconies or banisters that you'd be able to stand on. There's maybe about 30 chairs in the hall, a little lectern at the far end where the priest is going to stand. It's very, very simple, and it's very, very low-key. There's nothing complex in here at all. The only way that you can see in or out of the chapel is by the main door, although there are some holes in the roof where there are some shingles missing.
Gotcha, okay. So, I think potentially, Rage, what we could do is we could get some of them up on the roof, sneak them in onto the beams, and have them do like a ninja jump from the ceiling, you know?
How are they going to get on the beams?
If they can get through the shingle holes, maybe they can just lower into the...
I look at the shingle holes and use my eyes to estimate how big the shingles are.
Roll a d20.
Oh! 4.
You are definitely aware that you're looking at a roof, and you're definitely aware that there are some kind of slates that are not there that should be there.
Okay. Maybe you are right, Cal. Good, yeah.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
See, it's going to be epic. It's going to be like death from above.
Archibald is kind of bouncing around. Eventually, he spies you two back. Oh, I say, have you spoken to the actors yet?
Yeah, they're all here.
Well, I mean, they're outside.
They should be in here. Lads, come on.
Are you calling the actors in?
Yeah.
All of the actors slowly funnel in through the front door and kind of stand awkwardly around, not quite sure what to do. They know you're in charge, but they also don't quite know exactly what you expect of them. While Archibald is bouncing around, he says, "Oh, my goodness, allow me to introduce you to my bride-to-be." He kind of holds his arms and presents a tall, relatively muscular woman, curly black hair, standing there, black leather coat, if you will. She's clearly just been on some kind of ship. As you can see, that she's got a compass and a map in the pockets of her many-pocketed trousers, and she's standing there quite irritated, simply looking at both of you. She then looks at Archibald. "You didn't tell me we were inviting other people." Archibald simply looks back. "Oh, it's going to be fantastic. These are the entertainment. I have a surprise for you tomorrow." He looks at you two. "She doesn't know, so don't tell her what you're going to be doing. It's going to be very exciting."
Have we brought the boys in from behind that are all dressed as bandits?
Yes.
The boys.
Right. I square myself up in an attempt to hide the boys.
Roll a d20.
I mean, you might hide two of them.
Well, I've just wasted a nat 20.
A natural 20.
Oh, yeah, I flex my...
You bring the boys, you summon the actors in, and as soon as you realise that this is an actual thing, you simply stand in the doorway and flex. And you manage to jab almost your elbows into the stone of the doorway, preventing anyone from leaving. And as you jab your elbows into the stone of the doorway, you realise that these walls, they really aren't that sturdy. You could probably, with a good swift kick onto a very specific few bricks in the corner, you could definitely bring these walls down. This is not a well-built chapel. That is information you may need later.
Who else is coming to this wedding, out of curiosity? Also, hey, love, how you doing? I'm Rach.
The black-haired woman steps forward. Lovely to meet you. She shakes your hand.
Yeah, you too. Cheers. So, yeah, who else is coming in?
Who are you asking that to? The woman or to Archibald?
The woman, because, like, clearly she wears the pants in this relationship.
She simply looks toward Archibald. "I don't know. Who else have you invited?"
Ooh.
Archibald simply looks around. "Well, there's going to be me. There's going to be you. There's going to be these two lovely people who are old friends, and then some other people who are going to be the entertainment."
Okay.
And then a few of my beloved's friends. They're coming down as well. They're on the ship at the minute. And the priest, obviously, but he's an old friend of my beloved. He'll be officiating the wedding.
Right. Cal, come here a sec.
Yeah. What's up?
Excuse us, we need to do some conversing.
Archibald just stands there.
What's up?
She doesn't seem very happy about the arrangement, does she?
I'm starting to think this may be a money thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you know, back in my village, when you, like, married someone, if you got pinned down, you married them regardless. Some people were really unhappy about it.
Yeah,
So
I don't think that's the case here.
You reckon he hasn't pinned her down?
To be fair, I think she's more likely to pin him down.
Oh, true. Okay.
I don't think this is a two-way agreement, really. Pirate background and all.
The woman steps forward and simply leans into you. "I don't know what my husband-to-be has planned. I would like you to be here and then gone as soon as possible. We have a wedding to sort out. Isn't that right, my love?" As she glances over at Archibald. "Oh, it is. It's fantastic. It's romance at its finest. Right. Do you need anything else before the big day tomorrow?"
Not that I can think of. How about you, Rage? Anything we need for the big day?
Yeah, we got any blankets?
Well, it's getting dark, so I suppose we could all retire to the local village and we could spend the night in the tavern and we could all wake up early in the morning and then have a wedding. I mean, let's do a morning wedding. Let's have it as soon as the sun riseth.
Well, that didn't really answer my question, Reginald, but sure.
Who's Reginald?
Archibald, whatever your name is.
Better.
It's
It's
literally
on the
written
cape.
on
He
it.
turns around and shows you the embroidered cape.
Right, well, Reginald, we'll head off to the tavern now you've mentioned it.
Archibald has turned back around and is showing his bride-to-be more stuff that he's kind of organised for tomorrow, and the actors are all standing outside in like an awkward kind of group. It's getting quite cold outside. The sun is slowly setting and they're starting to shiver a little bit. Some of them have pulled their fake cloaks over them. One of them even walks up to you, Cal. Right, are we needed for much longer, or can we go back? Because, I mean, we still don't really know what we're doing.
Right, so here's the plan. We're going to have 4 of you up on the rafters. You're going to be hiding out there during, like, the opening ceremony, if there is one.
All right.
And right as the vows are being said, I want you guys to jump down, like paragliding with your capes, you know, like hero style.
That's about 15 feet up, you know.
So, you're going to land on 4 of the other guys who are going to be jumping in from the seated area. They're going to be acting as if they're at the wedding, but as those 4 come in, you know, to try and stab up good old Archibald, 4 of you are going to drop in and accidentally, like, clamber over them, you know, fall to the ground. You'll break your fall, probably break their legs, but you know what? We're not... There's no liability here. And then we're going to have another one who is secretly behind the priest, who goes to stab the priest. After all that's happened, we're going to just charge in and, like, intervene. Okay?
No. Not okay in any way.
What's not okay with it?
That's a 15-foot drop from the rafter. And your solution is just drop onto one of us.
Works
Drop
for
on me if you like.
Roll the d20, Rage.
3.
If we did, would you catch us?
Catch the cute one.
Who is the cute one that you're pointing at? Is it the really big buff one at the back?
No, it's a really, really small one.
It's the tiny halfling that's also involved as well.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going up on the rafters, am I?
I mean, we'll give you a leg up onto the roof. I tell you what, would it make you guys feel better if I tried to somehow cushion your fall with the sound of music?
Unless that is going to be like a very physical cushion. No.
No, I'm literally going to get a copy of the sound of music and just, like, put it under where you're going to land.
Okay. If we're going to go up on the rafters, I need you to promise that when we fall off them, we're going to land on something safe, because that's a dangerous jump right there. If you can promise that, we'll do it.
I can promise that.
Roll a d20.
17.
You're a trustworthy man, we'll believe you. The actors realise that it's getting quite late, and so a few of them start to retire back down the dirt path toward the village. Archibald is still running around and jumping and showing off things to his bride-to-be.
Oh.
Turns out that... What are you thinking so far about this whole wedding, Rage? This very naive, very extravagant, very rich man met this clearly very powerful, brave, dominant woman 2 weeks ago. She was a pirate, and he was an author, and they are now getting married.
I don't know what's going on, but there's like they're not balanced. You've got like the wife or wife to be who's like very like she's like Rottweiler, and then you got the Archibald is like golden retriever energy, and it's just a bit. It's not.
Yeah, it doesn't really. You can't click those two together.
And she doesn't seem to want you here. It seems that she had a wedding planned in her mind that didn't involve any kind of entertainment or you, and he's kind of gone behind her back to prepare this fun little extravagant thing.
I'm betting. Yeah, no, it doesn't really make sense, does it?
While you're
I'm
discussing
betting it's a no witnesses situation.
the actors have headed back down the hill into the village, and while you're discussing, Archibald bounds back over to you. Sorry about my beloved. She can be a little bit, short with new people, and she's super excited about us getting married with all of the romantic and legal clarification that brings.
Yeah, no, she seems lovely. You're onto a winner here.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing the way we met 2 weeks ago, and then she instantly said, I'm exactly what she wants in a man. And then we decided to get married.
You said you found her on a boat?
What?
No, you didn't find her on a boat.
No,
You found
I
her
was
at your
in a little
signing.
village doing a signing of my books, and then the village was attacked by bandits. But I said, don't kill me, I'm witch, which is the thing I've said many times. And as soon as I said that, she appeared and protected me.
Rich. Oh,
Funny
see,
how that
I
works.
thought you meant witch.
No, I said, don't kill me, I'm witch, I've got lots of money.
Ah, I thought it was weird because, like, you're a man, aren't you? So you
I
should
hope
be
so.
a wizard.
Yes. So, no, she
Not a
said that
witch.
she said, I'll protect you. And then we discussed, things, and it was very romantic and very scary.
That sounds good. I'm excited for you.
Yes, I can't believe I met her. At that exact moment in life, with
It's
convenience.
funny how that happens, isn't it?
I know. There was a bandit attack and he happened to be there.
Oh, this one
Right.
time I sang happy birthday to an ogre.
How did that go?
Really well. It just happened he was there and I was singing happy birthday and it worked.
Right?
Just like you and your beloved.
Yeah, in many ways, those situations are exactly identical. In many other ways, they are not at all alike. But I'm glad that you had a good time.
That was good.
Right. Well, in that case, tomorrow morning, sunrise, will the actors be in position?
Oh, yeah, it's all sorted.
Excellent, because I don't have many friends and family coming down to see this, but my beloved does. My beloved does. Isn't that right, Goldina? He shouts across. She simply looks back
Goldina?
and stares at him. Yes, he'll be having some of her friends turn up. It's going to be good. They're on the boat at the minute.
You sure you don't want to wait for the wedding until the friends turn up?
Oh, no. We're going to start the wedding tomorrow morning, and then they will arrive, and then it'll all be official, and I will be married.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Pub.
Pub.
Archibald and Goldina decide to just hang around in the chapel for a bit, talking. Archibald's boundless energy pointing out things, and Goldina's acceptance that he has planned something for tomorrow, even though she's not entirely sure of it. The actors have retired to their individual cabins that have been provided in the village, and you walk back down the dirt path to the village below. How do you feel tomorrow is going to go? All you have to do is provide entertainment for Archibald with a fake bandit attack.
I think it's... let's put it this way. It's either going to go really, really well or horrendously. And I'm putting my bets on the latter.
Rage, how are you feeling? I mean, Cal, you're in control of this.
That's why it's going to go badly.
I see. Rage, how are you feeling about this being in charge? You're members of the Adventurers Guild. You are responsible leaders.
Yeah, well, we're not, right? One of us is, and one of us is currently training her magic, and decided that she couldn't join us. So, my worry is that everyone else isn't going to have a good time, but the halfling is, and that's the main thing.
Yes, the halfling.
The halfling is.
What was his name again?
He didn't tell me what his
He
name
didn't.
was.
His name is Ling.
Well, I didn't ask what his name was.
Well, his name is Ling
so-
the halfling.
Of course it is.
Right.
You headed back down the dirt path and back into the tavern. You can see one or two. Someone in the chat just put four Ling. No. You can see one or two of the actors hanging around, having a drink, and a few of the village locals. The bartender looks over to you and kind of motions for you to come and chat to them.
Hello.
Oh, yeah?
Hi, are you with that Archibald fellow?
Yeah, for the first time in history, I can actually say I'm here with the entertainment.
Right, and his wife as well. It was his wife to be. You're here with her too.
Yeah.
Well, they're both going to be at the wedding, so yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
hopefully.
no, we don't really want any of her type in here, you know.
What do you mean her type?
Well, she's a pirate.
Right.
Yeah, no, that is a point of contention here. I can see why.
You do know how they met, right?
At a book signing, yeah.
Yeah, there was a bandit attack at the book signing.
Yes, he told us.
Yeah, it was more of a kidnap, though, wasn't it, really?
What do you mean?
What?
You do know that they're her bandits, right?
Oh.
Were the actors? Oh, I feel bad for her.
No,
I
I think
punched
he
one of them in
means...
the face.
No, I think he means the other bandits.
Oh!
Yeah. Right, okay, that does make a hell of a lot more sense now. So, I'm guessing it was a failed robbery, and now this is the next...
It was exactly what she wanted. He's about to sign half his fortune away to her tomorrow.
Right, okay. So these new bandits that are here as actors, they are nothing to do with the previous thing,
I
right?
have no idea why the hell he's hired them, but they need to stay as far away from that thing. I mean, tomorrow the whole thing needs to not happen, to be honest, but, you know, it's none of my business. I've said too much, as long as you know what you're getting yourselves into. I just pour the drinks.
Right.
What do you want?
Can I...
Fruit shoot.
I'll get you a fruit, a glass of fruit juice. I've got some of that.
Yeah, I'll be alright.
The bartender walks off and tries to get a mixture of apple and orange juice and kind of swirls it together and then simply hands it out to you.
Yeah. Thanks.
What do you want before I go to bed?
I have a question, and it may help with tomorrow. Do you have a safe or anything behind the bar?
I mean, there's a blacksmith's. They've got a safe. We don't tend to carry much of that value.
Right. Do you think there's any chance I'd be able to get one off them?
Get a safe?
Yes.
Like them massive metal blocks?
Yes.
No. I mean, they're huge.
It's all right. The actors wanted something safe to land on, and I wanted to fulfill my end of the bargain.
Oh, right. So you were going to endanger someone for a pun.
Pretty much.
I see how this wedding is going to go. Right. You know what? I'll wash my hands of all of it. I'll serve you drinks, but I'm not getting involved in any of this. Right. We're closing up. Last orders, everyone. The bartender calls out, and you see a few people just down the rest of their drinks, put the tanks on the side, and slowly leave the inn. He looks at you two. Right.
Before you do close, can I have a pint, please?
All right. He turns around and starts to pour a beer, and then puts it down onto the table in front of you.
Lovely. I pay the man, and I take my beer.
He takes a single copper coin away from you, puts it in his pocket, and then returns to cleaning around the glasses at the back and looks at you. You can take that with you. We're closing up now. Just bring the tankard back tomorrow morning.
No problem. I start to head out with the tankard.
You both leave the inn, and as you do, you can hear a heavy wooden bar be slid across the door to make sure it's locked for the night. It's getting quite dark now. It's quite cold outside. There is a local kind of hotel, if you will. Strangely not attached to the inn this time. Not attached to the tavern, but there are simple rooms within a bigger building that you can rent for the night.
Yes.
What if... I want to look around to check if there's anyone here.
Roll the d20.
Mr. DM. 20. Why? I'm wasting.
No, these are good.
You are aware of everyone in this village. You know exactly what room everyone's in. You've been looking. You've been working it out. You know where the bartender's going to go. You know the two on the top. And you find it very, very strange that there are more ships moored down at the bottom. There are more ships effectively docked at the bottom of that cliff than there need to be. You noticed everything, including several pirate sigils on Goldina as she was talking to her betrothed Archibald. You noticed that she was far more interested in looking at the things in the room, such as the tablecloth and the cutlery and the vases, and less interested in him.
Rage. I whisper to Rage. I think we should head down and check out the ships. I'm curious.
Allow me to tell you, Cal, there are many more pirate ships.
Oh, we should check all of them.
Right? And also, Valdina, Goldina, whatever her name was, she was interested in
You know her first
tablecloths.
name is Goldina. That's all you know. So
Goldina.
far.
She was interested in the tablecloths. Yeah. I saw
They were
her
nice
looking at
tablecloths.
them.
Yeah.
I reckon we should go and talk to her.
You are going to have to prepare this wedding entertainment tomorrow morning, and it is quite late now. If you head down to the pirate ships that are docked, you may not be able to get back in time to get enough sleep to wake the actors to prepare the entertainment for tomorrow.
Is it? I'm thinking, right? We get her, right?
Mm-hmm.
We pin her down.
Yeah, and marry her.
Yeah. And we say, listen, you, right? You're not going to do any nasty things to our boy.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to shut up. You're going to get married. You're going to make him happy. And then after that, you can disappear. But you're not going to do anything bad to him.
I mean, that works for me.
So your plan is to go and assault and intimidate the pirate captain who is getting married tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a roundabout way. Yeah.
Okay. Do you wish to head down to the pirate ships now?
I mean, what are you thinking, Rage? We could do either ships first or Goldina. I mean, we may have time in the morning, like very early, to do one of the two. But one of them's going to have to be done now, right?
Like, the wedding is first thing as soon as the sun comes up. You need, if you're going to have guys falling from the rafters, you need them up in position like half an hour before anyone even comes into the church.
Right. I'm just thinking
It's going to
we
be
don't
less of a
sleep
surprise
tonight.
if during the vows you just have some actors walk in and then climb up into the rafters.
No. See, they're coming down from the shingles, so they can afford to be a little bit late.
Okay, so they want you to climb onto the roof from the outside, slip into the rafters, and then fall down.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking we're pulling an all-nighter, right? This is weirder stuff. What do you think?
We can do Goldino. We do quick. That'd be
So what's the plan?
we'll sort her out quick. We're going to go and intimidate Goldina and
double team.
So Goldina has retreated to one of the ships for the night. The chapel is on the top of a cliff with a cliff face off to the side leading down to the ocean. If you look over, you can see the ships. In order to get to those ships, you need to walk down a winding back and forth rocky path from the cliff face, which gets you down. It's not an official harbour, it's not an official dock, there's no wooden structures there. It's just ropes lashing onto jagged rocks, and all the ships are kind of floating safely there.
Cool.
So do you wish to start descending, if you will, the rocky path from the cliffs down to the ships on the bottom?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's dark. It's extremely dark. Are you going to be carrying a flaming torch with you, or are you going to try and navigate these rocky cliffs in the dark?
Well,
Now, do you have any... Mr. Bard?
yes.
Do you have any way of casting light?
I do have pyrotechnics, which I could cast. Now, I'm not sure how well that's going to go, but if all else fails, I'm sure... You know what? We'll go for it.
Do it.
Okay, I would like to cast pyrotechnics.
Cal, do you have a description of what pyrotechnics does as a spell?
I'm bringing it up now.
So you're going to stealthily advance on the pirate ships by setting off a firework display from the top of the cliff as you walk down.
Yeah. I mean, it is a celebration and a festival, after all. It is to be expected that this may happen.
Stealthy fireworks. What does the spell pyrotechnics do, Cal?
Okay, so it creates fireworks. Oh, God, hang on. Let me enlarge that. Basically, if there's any fire within a 5-foot range of me, I can turn them into fireworks.
Okay. Is there any fire within a 5-foot range of you? Because it's dark, and this is the problem we're trying to solve.
We're at the top of the hill, though, so I'd imagine there'd be something, right? Like a lantern.
There is a flaming torch in the front door archway of the chapel. You could take that out if you want to, and carry that with you as you go down.
I think that's the way to go.
Convenient.
You stand at the top near the chapel. You manage to take out the flaming torch from its metal holder, and then you walk a few paces around until you're standing at the top of the gravelly, rocky path that will snake down the cliff face and lead you to the ships at the bottom. Is this where you now want to cast fireworks?
Yeah, so my thinking is, although it'll be bright and they'll see us, the fireworks should distract from that.
So your intention is to distract the enemy from looking at you by literally creating a firework display in your hand.
Correct.
Roll a d20.
16.
You hold the torch aloft. Anyone on the ships floating in the ocean down below would be able to look up the cliffs and see that the single point of light has moved from the chapel and is now illuminating the silhouette of a man holding it, with a tall, muscular woman standing next to him. And then the fire in his hand begins to crack and flicker. It begins to bounce around with colours and energy. You see lovely showers of purple sparks. You see almost a small missile fly off and explode just a few metres away. You hear the sounds, you see the sights. The torch itself is becoming almost a bastion of fireworks to jump away from, and most of the pirates on the ships at the bottom are leaning over the deck, looking up, most of them going, ooh, ah, impressed by your little light display. They're all now aware that you're standing there, Cal.
Part 2 of the plan's even better, don't worry about that.
Okay, they're all staring at you.
Yeah. So, I would like to know, so can we see down, because of these fireworks, to where the ships are? Like, is it illuminated most of the path?
Not really. It's mostly just a little tiny firework display above you. You can see the path with the flaming torch that you've got anyway. Effectively, what you've done is just create way more noise and light than you need. But the torch is still in your hand.
Right. I do have a plan.
What's the plan?
I want to cast animate objects and float the torch closer down towards them to detract from us, but still light the way.
Okay, roll a d20.
You know, you could...
11.
You could tell me, and I say this to Cal in person, you could tell me what you're doing, mate, instead of just doing it. You know that, right? I am here. You can use me.
After the start of the plan, it very quickly went downhill.
Right. I can see that.
So what was the intention of the plan? If it was to sneak down without being seen, you could have simply got the torch and kind of covered it with something and slowly snuck down this winding, jagged, rocky path. But instead, your plan was to cause the fire on the torch to kind of throw fireworks out into the night sky. And now you want to magically enchant the torch so it floats down the cliff toward the ships.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, you know, above the cliffs a little bit, just floating around in the air like a magic lantern almost.
Okay.
And just illuminating the ground from above with the exploding fireworks.
Okay, yeah, that happens. What the pirates now see is a lantern floating in the air with fireworks shooting off from it every now and again, and showers of sparks illuminating the path below as they watch two very illuminated people walking down this rocky, jagged path, their shadows being cast all over the rocks as they go, and then even more fireworks just popping off from this floating torch in the air. Effectively, what you've done is create an impromptu alarm over exactly where you are.
Rage, help.
Mate, you've not... I've got no part in this. You've done it all without me.
Do you wish to continue down the path and actually board one of the vessels, or abandon this plan and go back to the hotel?
Are we still in the thing? Like, we're still a big distance away from the boats?
It will probably take you about 10 minutes to walk down the actual winding paths to the boats.
Right, I climb over everything and I run straight forward. And I jump.
Straight forward?
Yeah, and I cast Rage.
You're going to rage onto a boat.
I am so aggravated by Callum that he's clearly incapable of doing that I get so angry it ignites a fire inside me and starts raging. As I rage, I want to just jump towards the boats.
I'll fix this, I promise.
What's the plan here? I mean, you can do that. I just want to know what the end goal is.
We want to get on the boat. We want to get the lady. We want to pin her down. We want to have a word, and we settle this. That's the plan.
Your anger is consolidated and physical. It flows through you and you run down this path. You absolutely sprint, zigzagging down, jumping if you will, until eventually you get to the lowest part of the path and there is a huge big pirate ship right in front of you, with 7 or 8 pirates on the deck simply looking at you quite quizzically. They're armed with cutlasses and one of them has a flintlock pistol, but they don't seem too scared of you yet. Do you want to attempt to board the ship?
Yeah, I want to say something as I board the ship.
Okay, roll a d20 to see how successful the jumping from the cliff onto the ship goes.
4. However, Mr. Dungeon Master, I am jumping, and would you say that it's a test of strength?
I would say it's a test of athletics or agility. Strength would be if you want to just jump into the ship, through the ship.
Don't you get reroll on rage?
I do if it's a strength.
Reroll it because you're raging. You've run down this path, you've seen them, and you've leapt through the air, and...
I get an 18 plus 2.
An 18. You leap through the air. You slam your feet onto the deck of the ship. You raise up. You're actually taller than most of the pirates on the ship. And you simply look around. A few of the pirates are dressed fancier than they normally would be. You can see that they've got almost wedding-style clothes on, as a few of them are preparing for this day tomorrow. What do you want to say now you've landed on the ship?
Arr! Let me in, mateys. I got a word with your chief.
Oh, what?
I think it's captain, but okay.
Captain!
Callum, is that when you lean forward from the cliff and be like, I think it's captain?
Yeah. I just correct her.
One of the pirates steps forward toward you. And who are you?
Well, I am Rage. Captain Rage. Northeast of Wanglia. I say Wales. Oh, where Wang came from.
Captain Rage from Northeast Wanglia.
It's I.
Scourge of the Wanglian seas.
'Tis I.
Oh, God. I wondered where you were going with that.
Me too.
And I see you may be from the land of Wanglia. Who are you? He turns and looks at you on the shore. Callum.
Oh, I'm just her carer.
Why? Every time. You're not my carer.
I'm just her friend.
You.
Right, well, this has been lovely, but you need to pop off now. We're going to go to sleep, and I'm guessing we'll see you tomorrow for the wedding.
No. And I will stamp my foot in front of him and square up to this guy.
Roll the d20.
8. It's intimidation check, so 10,
it is intimidation check. He simply laughs at you. Get off the boat. The captain doesn't speak to anyone.
Look. Me and your captain go way back when. Back into the rolling valleys of Wanglia. We did stuff. And she slipped away. I will not let her marry this man tomorrow. Not without saying my final piece. So if you, sir, look at him up and down, have it in your heart to let Captain Rage Wanglia through, to have one more night with my sweet love, and I'll owe it to you. It'll mean a lot to me.
Roll a d20 with advantage. So roll 2 d20s and choose the highest, seeing as this is a sentimental pirate.
19.
19.
The first one was a 2.
The first one was a 2. Good thing you had the advantage. As you are telling this pirate the tale of the one that got away, a single tear begins to roll down his face. There's nothing I want more than a good love story. You go to her, and you say your piece. I'll let the captain know that Rage from Wanglia is here. The pirate turns around and walks inside the captain's cabin at the back of the ship. You hear a few things being thrown around, and then the captain herself, Goldina, steps out and looks up and down. Oh, you're the one from the chapel earlier. Why are you on my boat?
Are the guards still there?
A few of them are hanging around, but they aren't particularly interested in what you're talking about.
Alright, I lower my voice. I hear about your plan tomorrow. Don't worry. I'm not gonna interrupt your plans. Obviously, we're here to cause a little bit of chaos. So, I was wondering if you'd like to come to an arrangement.
I have no idea who you are. I'm getting married tomorrow. That's all that's happening. What my husband-to-be has organised is up to him. But just don't interrupt the wedding.
Why?
Because I'm getting married and I don't want any interruptions.
I want to gesture Cal to come and join us.
I shuffle on over.
So you're saying you have all the intentions to get married tomorrow?
Yes.
What do you gain from this, other than marriage?
Well, the general gain is a husband, someone who loves you, lifelong partnership, friendship, legal connections, that kind of thing.
So why are you busy eyeing up all his belongings rather than him?
I don't know who you are or why you're on my ship, but I don't want to continue this conversation. So you can either get off my ship or I can throw you off my ship. One way or the other.
I grab her by her arm.
Roll a d20.
20. Bloody hell.
20.
Yeah.
As soon as you do, she pulls out a cutlass with the other arm and holds it straight to your throat incredibly quickly. You've got hold of one of her arms, but her other arm has a sword at your neck. She is clearly a professional pirate and has been grabbed before. She hasn't attacked you, which is an incredible amount of restraint on her part.
Shoot.
She is simply staring at you. Cal, what would you like to do in this situation?
I would like to whack out the bad boy and cast Bardic Inspiration on Rage.
Cal, roll a d20. Give us a quick blast of a pirate tune.
That is a 10.
That was
Practice
definitely
that one.
That was definitely a good sea shanty.
Yes, I'm glad you know what it is.
We actually recognised what that was. That was how good
That's
it was.
impressive. The practice has paid off.
Rage, you have one of your hands grabbing the captain's wrist and a sword to your throat. Any swift movements may be dangerous, but you can do something. Callum has inspired you, which means whatever you roll for next, you can roll a d6 and add the result to it. You got yourself in this situation, Rage. What are you going to do to get out of it? You decided to attack a pirate captain.
I want to grab twist her wrist with the sword.
You're going to use your other hands to grab the wrist and twist the sword away.
Like, just, yeah.
Okay, roll a d20 and then roll a d6 and add it to it.
Okay, get a d6.
That's not a good look. What was the 20? What was the d20 roll?
The 20 was a 15.
Mm-hmm.
The d6 was a 1.
So you rolled a 16 in total. You reach up and grab the wrist with the sword on it. Are you letting go with your other hand or not?
Well, the idea was I'd grab her wrist and, like, push the sword away, so no.
So effectively, you'd have both of your wrists grabbing both of her wrists.
Yeah.
You reach up and grab the other wrist and you attempt to pull it away. You manage to get the blade away from your neck, but as you do, Goldina lifts up her leg and kicks you forcefully in the stomach as hard as she possibly can, winding you and knocking you to the ground. As you are knocked away from her, both your hands slip off her. She drops the sword from one hand that was holding it by your neck and grabs it in her other hand from down below, steps back and holds it ready to attack both of you. Rage, you've been knocked to the floor, winded. Callum, what are you doing?
I want to take my cloak off and throw it over her as a distraction for Rage.
Roll a d20.
12.
You manage to take your cloak off and you throw it at her. The captain steps back and slices down with the cutlass, cleanly cutting through the cape, and 2 bits of cloth flutter to the deck, either side of her. She's looking at both of you. I don't know who you are, but I want you off my ship, now. Rage?
Well, this didn't go to plan, did it? Am I unconscious, did you say?
Nope, you are winded, but you're kind of wheezing and trying to catch your breath on the deck. And eventually you manage to stand up. All you've seen is Callum throw his cape at her and her just slice it in two cleanly through the air.
Oh.
Rage, what are you doing? The other pirates that are on this ship don't even seem too bothered that you guys are here. They know that their captain could handle you.
Well,
I think we have a stern talking to her.
yeah.
Okay, how's that going to go?
After the previous events, probably not well.
She's standing there, cutlass out, having just cut your cape in twain, and is ready to attack both of you, and your plan is to give her a good talking to.
Probably should have started with that.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it. That's probably not going to work.
She takes a small step toward both of you. Off my boat, now. Whatever my husband has planned is fine, but after tomorrow, I never want to see you again.
Maybe we did get the wrong end of the stick.
Maybe. I mean, is it any of our business, to be honest?
I mean, true.
We're just here for entertainment. We're going to get paid regardless.
Okay. Well, sorry, love. Bye.
Do you wish to leave the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Callum the Bard and Rage, the captain of Wanglia, decide to attempt to leave the pirate ship. Just roll a d20 for how well you leave the ship.
20! My first one.
10?
Oh,
10.
for God's sake.
Callum, a few of the pirates around have actually... They were quite impressed by the flourish of the throw of the cape. They thought that was pretty cool. If they see you again, they might think that you're cooler than you actually are, and maybe friends in the future. But you decide to step off the boat. The torch, by the way, which has been floating, the fireworks have slowly died down, and the torch is slowly floating back down toward the ground. You can, if you want to, use the remaining light to simply run back up the cliff and then grab a room in the hotel for the night, preparing for the big day tomorrow.
I'm down for that.
Rage, you managed to stumble off the boat. The captain of Wanglia clearly not as seaworthy as she once was. You leave the pirates on their boat, head back up the rocky cliff face, walk down the dirt path next to the chapel. There's now no torch on the front of the chapel, so it's very, very dark, but you're able to find your way back to the village and find a single room in a hotel for the night where you both get a decent night's sleep. And when you wake up, you can tell that it's maybe about 20 minutes before sunrise. You have
should probably get people in place.
prep to do. What are you going to do?
I think we should rush over.
I'm gonna knock on Callum's door.
Cal?
Are we sleeping together or do we have separate rooms?
Yeah, I was going to say, was it a single room or a single room?
It was a single room, but you just fell asleep on the floor.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Alright, I kick Callum in the head.
You want to kick Callum in the head to wake him up?
Wake up!
Hello?
Just roll a d20.
Oh, God.
5.
Cal, roll a d20.
12.
The kick was really powerful. Like, extremely powerful. Like, almost concussion level powerful. And you may randomly have to be given disadvantage on some rolls for the rest of the day because your head really hurts now.
Wake up, Stinky!
Hello. I am here now.
Hi. Oh, we're late.
Yeah, no, let's go.
Okay.
You leave
Do
the
we have
hotel.
time for breakfast?
Do you want to grab some breakfast?
Yeah,
I think we
breakfast.
should grab a croissant on the way out. Just grab it and run.
In the open hall of the hotel, there are some slices of meat and some blocks of cheese that have been cut. They expect you to pay extra for them if you want to take them.
I take the cheese.
Yeah, I grabbed the meat.
Are you going to leave some coins for them?
Nope.
Oh, I'll leave them like a copper or two.
Cal, you managed to leave them a copper or two. That's fine. Out of the hotel, you can see that there's actually quite a crowd already up on the top of the hill by the chapel. Do you wish to head up there?
Yeah, we're running late. Actually, yeah, there weren't meant to be that many people, right?
No, not from his side.
Are these all pirates?
Yes.
Well, we shimmy on up, I guess.
You head up to the top of the hill. There's quite a lot of pirates. One of them recognises you from yesterday and kind of like nods at you. He knows that you're the guy that threw the cape. And just off to the side is a small group of actors, maybe 5 or 6, not full strength from yesterday. A few of them definitely had bad thoughts. Give me a second.
The other 4 up on the roof ready.
Wait, who's having bad thoughts?
They didn't want to be involved with anything you were doing with like this.
Oh.
I mean, fair.
As soon as they see you, they walk up to you. Right, what are we doing? Like, are all of these actors as well? Is this a big thing? What's happening? Some of those guys have real swords.
Yeah, they are real. You are actors. So no, we don't have enough to put 4 up on the rafters. So that plan's out the window, or off the rafters, should we say? We're going to put 2 of you up there. So if 2 of you go and start climbing up on the roof and get ready to like slip in through the shingles they're missing, that's great. The rest of you, I guess, take seats as if you are visitors. And just get ready to, before the I do, just jump out. Everybody just go for Archibald, okay?
Okay, right. And
we'll deal with the rest.
This is very safe, yes?
Yeah, no, this is perfectly fine. I mean, your swords are basically a tree, so...
Yeah, okay, right. Gotcha. But, like, theirs aren't.
Yeah, no, theirs aren't, but they're not getting involved. They're not part of the entertainment, you see.
Oh, good. And they know that this is an entertainment thing?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Ooh, let's put a good show on for them then, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. You'll kill it. Break a leg.
2 of the actors head around the back to the rafters. One of them is Ling the halfling, and the other one is actor number 2. They walk around to attempts to climb up onto the roof. And as you are standing there, a few of the pirates are looking at you and looking inside. From out of the inside of the chapel, Archibald walks out. Lovely, again, flowing purple suit. Hi, Faye. Are you ready? I think we're ready. If everyone wants to take their places, then he leans into you 2. Is the entertainment ready?
Yeah, they're all in place.
Fantastic. So, just before the priest makes us both say, I do, they're going to run in and attack me. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. Some are going to come from the ceiling as well.
I'll fight them off like a hero, and then I'll marry my beloved, and she'll think I'm very, very impressed.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
So your lady is very big and burly.
Oh, Goldina, yes, she's remarkably strong.
Maybe she should know that this is a staged thing, in case of any miscommunications and accidents.
Well, then she wouldn't believe that I'm a strong hero defending myself.
Right, but last time she stabbed the bandits and killed them, right?
Well, when we met, yes, once she realised that I was rich and famous, she protected me, and she did use violence.
Right, so what's to stop her dismantling the entertainment?
Well, I will do that. That's your job to have choreographed.
Yes, but if she's not part of the plan and doesn't know it's happening, maybe this isn't the best planned out thing.
Well, look, it's going to be fine. The actors will run in, I will defend myself, she will see that I'm brave and strong, and then we will get married and it will be great.
Oh, perfect, then we'll just go ahead with it.
Excellent. Right. I'm glad you've been able to organise all of this. Right.
Yeah, no problem.
Play this, people. Archibald heads back inside, and a few of the pirates begin to funnel in and take seats. There are quite a lot of pirates. Out of 30 seats, you've got maybe 20 pirates in there as well. All of them kind of sat down. You can look up from inside the chapel, and you can see, looking at you through some of the holes in the slate and the shingles on the roof, you can see one actor on either side, ready to kind of jump in through the holes onto the wooden rafter, and then attempt to drop down from that. And you can also see that there's maybe 3 actors outside waiting, looking a little bit nervous. Down on the cliff face, the winding path, if you were to lean over the edge just outside the chapel and look, you'd see Goldina walking up with 2 people either side of her.
What are these people carrying, if anything? Are they, like, armed?
They are carrying the coattails of her rather nice wedding dress.
Okay, so they're kind of like aisle... what do you call
Almost
them?
like an honour guard for her, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
Eventually, she reaches the top, and... Are you both inside the chapel or standing outside the chapel waiting for Goldina to enter right now?
Well, we should be by the front by Reginald.
Yeah.
Wait,
Archibald is effectively
Archibald?
standing within the chapel by the lectern, waiting for the priest to turn up. He's looking at the audience of rather rough-looking pirates, and then 2 or 3 very out-of-place-looking actors also sat on the chairs, kind of sprinkled throughout the audience as well.
So we should be back left. Because that's where that's
no,
not back
I
left,
think
like front left.
we should be at the front, yeah.
Yeah, because
I'd say one either side.
One of the dudes, right?
Oh,
yeah,
I'm not
that's
going to. I don't plan on catching them.
You brought your copy of The Sound of Music, right?
Yeah, I'm going to place it on the floor as the ambush happens. But I think we should have one either side of the aisle, just so we've got coverage, you know?
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
Awesome.
As you are discussing this, Archibald is simply standing at the front, pretty excited, and a priest walks in. A priest carrying quite a few blades on him, a flintlock pistol down one side. A very piratey-looking priest, but a priest nonetheless. He walks through the aisle, stands up and turns at the lectern, places his hands on there, and leans toward Archibald. Right, you ready for this? Archibald simply nods extremely enthusiastically. You're waiting. There's no music. There's no fanfare. But Goldina enters the building. She looks actually rather respectable. Rather attractive. She cleans up really well. She's even put a little bit of basic makeup on. And she strides through, her honour guard carrying the tails of her wedding dress. It's grey. It's seen better days, but it has been transported on a ship for quite some time. And eventually, she meets Archibald at the front. Bride and groom standing looking at each other. And the pirate audience simply watching this wedding go ahead. And 2 or 3 of the actors there. The priest begins to say some words, talking about love, connection, talking about ownership, talking about inheritance, talking about how once the spouses are connected in front of all of these witnesses, especially 2 witnesses from the Adventurers Guild, then everything that one spouse owns, the other will also own. And if anything terrible were to happen to one or the other, all of their belongings would go to the other person. He then asks if anyone has an issue with this. Rage, once they get married, half of everything Archibald owns will also become Goldina's. You okay with this?
That's what happens at home.
Callum, you okay with this?
Sounds pretty standard to me.
Excellent. Goldina starts to smile as she realises that her plan is getting closer and closer to fruition. And then the priest simply says, "Repeat after me," and says a few words to Archibald, and eventually he gets to the "Do you take this woman to be your wedded wife?" Just before Archibald says, "I do." Rage, what's the plan? This is the entertainment. How do we do it?
Woo!
Is that... Okay, did you organise with the actors that there was going to be a signal, or are you just wooing in the middle of a wedding?
We definitely organised it, yeah.
I don't remember you doing that.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we did.
Nope, there was no organisation. You simply woo.
No, we did. We did, Josh, I
Callum,
promise.
did you organise the woo?
I don't think we did. We need to use a more generic signal of, like, a thumbs up to the guys in the rafters and the...
Okay, Cal, so the priest has said, "Repeat after me," and Ray just went, "Woo!" And then Callum went to the roof.
Yes, I did.
Cal, would you roll a d20 for the actor that is above you on the rafter?
10.
And Rage, would you roll a d20 for the one you promised to catch?
Oh, no.
3.
3. Rage goes woo. Callum gives a thumbs up. The actors in the audience realise this is the signal for the fake planned attack to make Archibald look really brave in front of his new wife. And so, the 3 of them stand up, make piratey noises, and draw wooden swords. Callum, behind you, a man falls from the rafters, cracking his ankle on the floor as he does and screaming in pain. Rage, you look up. Ling the halfling looks down, sure that you're going to catch him. He leaps from the rafters, horizontal in midair, drawing 2 wooden daggers, and then smashes onto the floor, cracking his back and hitting the back of his skull against the flagstones. You see him spasm once or twice and then simply lie there still. Immediately killed from the impact. The actor behind you, Cal, is still clutching his ankle in pain and screaming as he's dislocated it quite badly. The 3 other actors run forward toward Archibald and draw their blades. As soon as they see this, Goldina realises that she's being attacked, and so simply leans forward, grabs one of the cutlasses from the pirates in the front row, and turns to face these 3 attackers. Rage, what are you doing?
I'll save you! And I dive onto Lady Regina, Goldina.
You want to dive onto Goldina in an attempt to save her.
Yes.
Roll a d20.
Please don't impale me. That's a 12.
You say, I'll save you, and run toward her. She simply steps back, places a hand on your shoulder, and pushes you as you run on past her. As you do, she uses your body as cover, leans forward, and stabs one of the actors straight in the shoulder. The cutlass, sharp as it is, going straight in and straight out. The actor looks down, realises he's actually been stabbed, and starts to almost silently scream. He's not sure what noise to make. Callum, what are you doing?
Is the actor that got stabbed the one that was on my side, or Rage's?
No, they're both actors. The ones that were on your side are both on the floor. Rage's one is dead, seeing as he went full on horizontal and slammed his back and skull into the floor at speed, and yours is still crying and clutching his ankle. The 3 actors that were in the audience that have stood up and stepped forward, one of those has just been stabbed. As soon as this has happened, a few of the pirates realise there's an attack, and so simply stand up and draw their blades as well. They can't let Archibald be harmed before the wedding has completed.
Okay, so I kind of feel like I owe a favour to the guy who broke his ankle because I did not put the copy of whatever it was, Sound of Music on the floor. So I'd like to cast Healing Word on him and try and heal the broken ankle.
Roll a d20.
That's a 6.
In the middle of this battle going on, you pretty much kneel down, look at him and go, oh, that looks painful. You lay your hand on him, onto his ankle, and you start to heal. It'll take you a turn or 2. If you want to do this, this is fine, but you will be out of the fight while this is happening.
Yeah, I owe that guy one. I told him I'd keep him safe, so at least I can do is remedy the mistake.
The actor that's been stabbed in the shoulder is walking backwards and has sat down in shock and is clutching his shoulder as blood begins to pool on his tunic and then slowly roll down. One of the other actors realises this must be a blood pack, and this is clearly a very impressive use of resources that you've got. So he steps forward and holds his sword out toward Archibald, going, "Have at thee, good sir, I shall strike thee." And as he is talking, Goldina steps back, draws the cutlass out, holds it aloft, and brings it straight down directly through the guy's forearm. A clean cut. His wrist and hand fall to the floor, the sword clatters onto the stones below, and in the middle of his monologue, he simply looks at this incredible fountain of blood coming out the stump of his arm and begins to scream, clutching it with his other hand, horror in his eyes. Rage, what are you doing?
Am I on the floor?
Why would you be on the floor? What happened to you last?
She pushed me.
Oh, she threw you out the way. You stumbled past her, and now
me.
you've managed to stand back up. And you've seen one actor get stabbed, the other actor get his literal arm cut off.
Yeah.
And 2 of them in incredible pain. Callum is sorting out the dude on the floor, though, with his broken ankle.
Sick. So Goldina is behind me. I'm behind Goldina.
You're close enough to her to move around wherever you need to.
Cool. I want to run up, jump on her back, and ride her like a pony.
What's the end game here?
Yeah.
Disarm her.
You wish to disarm her.
Well, I want to, get her down so that she's just,
We all know mental combat's hard.
20 pirates that are loyal to her.
Well, she's killing all the actors, mate. What am I meant to do? Can't just fly in and save them. I'll just get her down.
You can try, but if you attack the pirate captain in a very small room full of her minions, she may not react super well. Archibald, by the way, is horrified by all this and has realised that it was fun at first and now it's gone very, very real.
Yeah. I've got to pin her down. Yeah.
Roll a d20.
15. But is
As
it
she
strength?
slices straight through the actor's forearm and his hand and sword clutter to the floor, you run up, grab her wrist, and how do you try and tackle her to the floor?
I want to jump on her back.
You want to leap onto her back.
Yeah, I'm piggybacking her.
You leap up, you kick off the lectern to get a little bit of extra height, and you manage to land, wrapping your legs around her stomach from behind, and you have her hands round the back of her neck. You are effectively a backpack to her right now. As soon as she realises you've done this, she drops her swords, loops her arms underneath your legs so you absolutely cannot go anywhere, and jumps in the air and lands on her back hard, slamming you into the cold ground behind you. Callum, what are you doing?
I mean, this isn't a good situation. While she's on her back with Rage on the ground, I want to try and go and get the lovely lady.
You're still healing the dude if you want to carry on doing that. You're halfway through healing his ankle.
Nah, fuck him. I'm gonna go and get Goldina in a headlock to try and get her off Rage. He can just bleed out. I don't care at this point.
Am I still on top of her?
He's broken his ankle.
Oh, he's fine then. I'll go and headlock Goldina
As
and
this
try
is
and
all
pull her
happening,
off.
one of the other actors, the only one that hasn't been injured so far, has dropped his sword, dropped to his knees, and is talking to all of the pirates, going, "I'm just an actor. I'm just an actor. This isn't real. I'm just an actor." Cal, you run up to Goldina in an attempt to pull her off Rage. Roll a d20.
Mm-hmm. That is a 9.
As you run up and grab to pull off, Goldina tries to struggle. She can't. She's got her hands pinned under Rage's legs, and Rage, you're on your back, pinned under her on the floor. Cal, as you are kind of grabbing at her cloak and grabbing at her neck, you feel something cylindrical and metal get pressed into your ribcage.
Oh.
And as you look to the side, you see that the man with the flintlock has pushed it up against you with his finger on the trigger. Everyone is now very, very calm, and everything is very still, as you have a gun right up in your ribcage. Rage, what are you doing?
I feel we should explain ourselves. It's gone a bit beyond what it was meant to be.
Can you let go of me, please?
Roll a d20.
12.
A few pirates have stepped forward, drawn swords, and held them toward you, so Goldina feels comfortable kind of unhooking her arms, standing up, dusting herself off, turning around.
I do the same. I mimic her.
As soon as you stand up, she turns and looks at you. You stay on the floor.
Yes, Mummy?
Goldina looks over at Archibald. What the hell? What the hell is this? Archibald managed to stammer out. Surprise! I'm a brave hero. We can get married now.
Not technically.
Callum, why
Because based off Rage's traditions, she can now marry Goldina.
That is true.
She did pin her to the floor.
I think Goldina pinned Rage to the floor.
She kept her on the floor.
The priest is standing there, looking around, looking at Archibald, looking at Goldina and looking at Rage. Right, look. Who's getting married? And can someone get that guy who's bleeding out of here? He points at the guy who's had his hand chopped off, who is still screaming in the corner, who eventually manages to just sprint out of the chapel. He is done with all of this. Goldina turns and looks at Reginald. Archibald. Even you've got me saying it now. Goldina turns and looks at Archibald. Reginald is actually the name of the actor that broke his ankle on the floor. Looks at Archibald. You are going to marry me. You are going to sign that document. You are going to give me half of everything you own, and then I am going to leave. My love.
So that's what you were doing all along.
Archibald is a little bit taken aback by these words. I see. Wait. Okay. I see. Would you still marry me if I wasn't witch? As soon as he says that, you can see Goldina almost break into a smile, almost break into a laugh, and all of the pirates start to realise that he had no idea. He was just assuming this was love. And they start to giggle and laugh. A few of them stand up. A few of them draw blades. One of them steps forward and looks at Archibald. Sign the papers, mate. Rage, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that this is a very dangerous situation. I've been winded and we should probably evacuate. So I look at Cal and I'm like, mate, should we go?
I've got a plan.
Oh, what's your plan?
Get Archibald out of here and collapse this decrepit building.
Shh. Loud. Also, you didn't know that it was decrepit. I was the one that knew. So, you're metagaming.
Didn't you tell me?
No.
Okay, maybe
you
the
told him
building's
at the same
decrepit.
time that you told the actors that woo was the signal.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I did tell you. Yeah,
I thought you did. Okay.
There are a bunch of angry pirates and one very angry pirate, Captain Goldina, who want Archibald to sign this document so officially half of his wealth is her wealth. And your plan is to sneak him out of the building past 20 pirates, a priest, 2 dead actors and 1 angry captain, and then collapse the building in on the pirates. How are you going to get Archibald out of the building?
I grab his hand and run.
Roll a d20.
Yep. Good plan.
14.
You grab it. And you run. You manage to, using the element of surprise, push your way through most of the pirates, knocking the chairs aside and getting relatively close to the actual exit, the single door out of the chapel. Unfortunately, Archibald is somewhat flailing behind you, so as you run out of the chapel, you manage to pretty much just slam Archibald against the archway of the door inside. You
So
hear
the
a
name comes
crunch
from?
and a crack. You don't know what's broken, but something is. Rage, what are you doing?
I follow behind them.
Roll a d20.
Oh no.
17.
You manage to sprint through the opening that Callum has made as well. You see Cal leave the building and slam Archibald into the side of the door. You, however, are able to run through the door, holding your arm out, scooping him up as you go, and jumping out of the chapel. You turn
When I
around
jump out,
to
I
the
wanna
shock of the pirates. Inside the chapel now, the priest, the pirate priest, Goldina, the pirate captain, and all of her entourage. Outside, a bleeding Archibald, 1 semi-dead actor lying down clutching his stump of an arm, and you two. Rage, what are you doing? Quickly, use the knowledge.
Turning around and I'm kicking the wall.
Roll a d20.
It's a 5.
Cal,
Yeah.
say something inspiring to allow her to roll again.
Well, I mean, I can play something inspiring.
Yeah.
Play something inspiring. Rage, are you inspired?
No.
Wait.
Cal,
Yeah.
what would you tell her in order to give her the strength to attempt to kick a single brick again, which might bring this building down, or at least bring the doorway down and give you a chance to run away?
Look, this is for the greater good. This is a wrong situation. You need to remedy this. This is your one chance. Make it count.
Rage, do you feel inspired?
Yeah.
Roll the d20 and attempt to kick 1 brick. This is all you get.
19.
Yes!
You remembered from when you fell into the doorway earlier that these bricks aren't very well put together. This chapel is not very well built. And so you simply start to kick at one of the bricks low down. And eventually you dislodge it, and you see the brick above it slip down. and slip down and slip down and slip down again, and eventually the doorway crumbles in on itself. And you can even hear the sliding of stone on stone, brick on brick, as you realise the entire chapel is starting to slowly curve, slowly slip, built on a relatively steep cliff itself. You see that the building is not crumbling in on itself, but starting to slide with the mud underneath it, closer and closer and closer to the cliff edge. Callum?
Yes.
If the pirates get out of the building, they're going to come after you. You need to leave. What are you doing?
I would like to make sure that that building falls off the cliff, and I'd like to cast Earth Tremor.
Describe Earth Tremor to me, the spell.
So it causes a tremor in the nearby ground within, you know, a couple of meters. And, that's about it.
Excellent. You just make the earth shake a little bit.
I do. I cause a mini earthquake in the vicinity.
Roll a d20.
That is definitely a 2.
Oh no.
The earth kind of like shudders a little bit. Not much else happens, to be honest. Some stones roll off down the cliff. You can hear a little splash of water at the base, and the building starts to move a little bit quicker. One of the stones, a few more slates from the top fall off as well into it. Then you can hear someone say, ow, from the inside of the building when a slate falls in and hits them.
I just go, and run away.
Rage, are you turning to run as well?
So the building is falling. Can I do anything?
The building is starting to slowly collapse in on itself and slide toward the edge of the cliff. With the pirates still inside, you can hear that a few of them are struggling to try and break the walls from the inside to get out.
Ooh. I run.
Rage and Cal, you've both decided to run. Are you taking Archibald with you, or leaving him in his kind of smashed state as you slammed him into the archway of the door as you were leaving?
I'm thinking between the two of us, we pick him up leg and a wing style, and we run towards one of the ships at the bottom.
The ship?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, no one's in them anymore, I would imagine, or very few. They're all in the building that's sliding off the cliff.
Yeah, sure. Let's get in the boat that's sliding off the cliff into the sea where the... No, let's go towards the boat.
Are you okay? Did you hit your head with a shingle?
Callum, is your plan to get into the boat that's about to have a building brought down on top of it from falling off the edge of the cliff?
I'm planning to do that, but hopefully start it moving just as the building goes in and get a good wave to push us out to sea. You know, a good escape.
Against the cliff?
Yep.
Against the calm, chilled out harbour cliff with a building about to fall on top of it. You're going to kickstart the boat and be like, go!
That's the plan. Ride the wave out of there.
Oh, no.
The wave that it's going to cause is because it's going to crash onto the ship, not behind the ship.
So maybe not then.
You
surely...
think?
We just run back to the inn.
Pub.
Yeah, we run back to the pub. We're legging a wing in Archibald.
Where he is.
No, we're
legging a
him
wing
to
in.
the
Like,
yep.
I've got a leg over each shoulder. Rage has got an arm each, I'd imagine, and we just sprint like a kind of a makeshift people carrier.
Yep.
You run down the dirt path back toward the village. You're able to turn around and see, just in time, the building, the chapel itself, doesn't completely fall off the edge of the cliff. One of the walls closest to the cliff does begin to teeter over and does begin to fall. You hear the bouncing of brick and stone on the cliff face, and then eventually the splinter of wood as large bricks begin to slam into the ships down below. And you see that even though the building doesn't fully slide off, it does collapse in, causing this fantastic ruin. You see a few bodies of pirates fall off down the cliff as well, and then if you look at the rubble that's now, you can see that a few people are still alive and moving, but everyone is relatively crushed. You can just about see an angry, tall, muscular woman with curly black hair in a grey wedding dress push blocks off her and wipe dust and blood from her face as she begins to climb out of this massive pile of rubble on the edge of the cliff. You are quite far away and she can't see where you've gone. You need to leave. You probably can't take Archibald with you. What are you going to do?
Why not?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
You wish to run away carrying Archibald, the rich adventure writer, as you have ruined his wedding and think he wants to go with you.
Yes, he's
Yeah.
Yes.
You run into the woods.
Oh, well, wherefore we're going pub, mate?
You want to go to the pub
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to the Winchester and wait for it all to blow over.
when these pirates are going to be chasing you.
Okay.
Well, they don't know where we've gone, so we go pub.
There's one village
Mm-hmm.
down one path.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, right, we ain't that brainy, but we like pub, right? We see pub, we go pub.
And someone's got to pay us for this mess.
Exactly.
And he
Yeah.
can't if he's dead.
True.
Archibald was going to pay you, but I don't think he's going to now.
But the thing is, we saved him.
And we did what he asked.
Exactly.
And I did warn him that this may be the outcome.
He did.
Okay. As a dungeon master, I will not unfairly kill you, but I will not prevent you from putting yourself in situations where you will die.
Right,
And
okay.
your characters will be lost forever if you want to do this.
I have a plan, Rage.
So if you want to take on the pirate captain that you clearly can't beat in a fight, along with several angry, almost crushed pirates, in a small village just down the road from where you were, that's fine. But I will kill your characters if you put yourself into situations that will kill you.
Should we find another pub?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Dungeon Master, we find another pub, please.
Do you wish to leave Archibald or carry him with you?
Take him with us.
You wish to take the esteemed adventure writer Archibald away from this village, carrying him into a new life of wherever.
He could
Yes.
do with starting a new life, to be fair.
Yeah. But we ain't gonna leave poor Archie. He's gonna get taken.
By his wife. So you save him by kidnapping him.
I mean...
Right, look, yes. Right. How many people would save poor Archie boy? And how many people would let him to die? I just need to ask the gods up in here.
Why do you think he's going to die?
Because they're gonna marry him and
Yeah.
then murder him.
Why?
Because she said that's what she was doing.
No, she just wants half his stuff.
It's not so bad, I guess.
But then the
But if he
man
dies-
was like, yeah. Oh,
So he'll
no,
have
if
to-
he
he'll
dies,
have to
then
die
you get
for that.
all the stuff.
He might die now, he might die later.
But he's going to die either way, thanks to her, because she wants the free stuff, right? I can't let that happen.
So you're going to kidnap him to save him.
I could marry him,
Yeah, no, that's a plan.
and then we get all the stuff. And then we kill
my
him.
God, yeah, no, he's probably going to die anyway. He's a bit weak. No, that
Mr.
sounds like a
Dungeon
plan.
Master, that's what we do. We go into the woods. Tatty bye.
You'd need to find a priest.
Oh, we can do that in another village. Like that's a
We can.
that's a problem
You
for
know what?
later.
Yeah.
In that case, you steal the esteemed adventure writer Archibald Scribblewright into the forest away from his angry betrothed wife that you have
They
effectively
ain't
crushed in a
married yet.
small chapel.
We'll go back to Smillage.
You are going to
Yeah!
return to the village of Smillage
Yeah.
in an attempt to find a priest to marry Rage to Archibald.
Yeah.
When Billy returns next week, that is the adventure she will join you on. The journey for a priest, for a shotgun wedding, for Rage to Archibald Scribblewright, to save him from a shotgun wedding to someone who doesn't love him.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yes.
I mean, that other person didn't love him anyway.
Yeah.
You can add
and
one,
I could love him.
add one Archibald to your inventory, and you will have him at the start of next session.
Yes.
This is where we will end today's session. Having been hired by Archibald to fake a bandit attack on him at his own wedding in order to make himself appear brave to his pirate wife, who really just wants to marry him for half of his stuff. The bandit attack did not go well. The pirates thought it was an actual genuine attack and fought back as pirates would do. You killed a halfling called Ling by making them fall from the rafters and promised to catch them. The guy with the broken ankle, he has now been crushed by a chapel. The ships down below have been damaged by the falling debris. Goldina is not dead. She is simply pulling herself out of this rubble and is going to not only find her husband again, but attempt to take revenge on the people that stopped the wedding.
Technically, they're not married.
Exactly. But she's angry at you because of that.
Is this going to be a villain that returns at some point?
We may see Goldina again at some point in the future. For now,
I can't wait.
You will run into the woods away from the chasing pirates with Archibald and attempt to find somewhere to sleep after running for quite some time. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for joining us for the Wedding Bandit attack, where I think it's been made abundantly clear Billy is the brains of the group.
Oh, God, yeah. There was never any doubt.
Yeah.
Billy is the one that knows exactly how this all works. We will see you next week when Billy will be back. We will hopefully be appearing live in many more conventions next year as well. We want to do Insomnia again, Birmingham, EGX again, and hopefully MCN. All of these episodes can be watched again on YouTube. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Excellent. That's the Session Zero YouTube channel.
Yes.
Someone has said, is this the first time Session Zero is continuous? We won't remember by next week. There'll be like a flashback at the start and we'll be like, yeah, Archibald died.
No!
Archibald
I won't allow
Timothy
it.
Scribblewright.
No!
His full name.
No!
Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very much for joining us. Rage, any final thoughts before we head off?
Thank you, chat, for weighing in on the final decision. It was tough there, what to do. Very 50-50, as always. But yeah, good job.
Callum, anything from you?
Yeah, again, thank you to my chat for the suggestions. Very helpful. I'm sure this is going to go down well for the next episode. But yeah, thank you for tuning in.
Ladies and gents, we will see you all next week. Catch up with Session Zero on Twitter and on YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will see you next week. Take care. God bless. Good night.